Where is Jackie?
All right. She is co-hosted, Rory.
Perfect.
We had her last week. She wowed us with all that information last week.
And I'm going to throw in this. So she had what we're going to see today. She had ready. She asked me if there's something I wanted to talk about, and I had a topic, and I gave it to her, and I was kind of like expecting her to say, "Oh, that's a lot for this notice," but she just knocked it out, and it was incredible. So when I found out that she had something else prepared, we deserve to have that shared with us. So here we are. Jackie, are you ready?
I'm ready.
You're always ready. And
I'm ready, baby. I'm ready.
I get to see you in 2 days.
Yes, you do. I can't wait.
In Waikiki.
Yeah.
It's almost surreal, right? Okay, so let's show everybody, like, you know, let's go over your stuff. I'm gonna mute out here, and I'm taking notes.
Okay. So I'm going to share my screen, and this is going to be geared towards our wine business, guys. But it kind of really, it's funny. I was listening to Roy on Tuesday night, and this dovetails right into what he was training on. So if you have not caught his Tuesday night training, you need to go listen to that, because this will make a lot more sense to you. I'm going to share my screen. And what we're going to talk about today is how to stay focused and motivated when building your business. And it's very important to understand what that means, okay? And before we get too deep into the topic today, I'm a firm believer that you got to understand where somebody was to understand where they are today. So we're going to talk a little bit of how I got where I got, and then how some tips for you on how to focus and stay motivated while building your business. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, it came into focus. I wanted to talk a little bit. People always talk about a why, or why you do what you do, or how you do what you do. Well, Roy talks a lot about you're a product of where you come from. And a lot of it is mindset. And we're going to talk a lot about mindset today. But I wanted you to kind of understand where I came from to where I am today, because everybody has a story. And so I wasn't the kid. First of all, I grew up in a very small town, a strawberry community in Southeast Louisiana as a child. I had a huge Italian family, Catholic family. And while that was wonderful on many fronts, and they raised us as they best could back then, things were a bit different. And I wasn't the kid that, I was always a little different kid, if you will. I wasn't the kid that was in the cliques. I wasn't the kid that was in the cheerleading and the athletics and all that. I just kind of hung with everybody, but I always was true to me. And I always knew I wanted something different. My father was an entrepreneur. He was an oyster fisherman for many, many, many years. And I always aspired to have my own business, but I saw his struggles. And as a matter of fact, when I was 25 years old, my father committed suicide. He was very sick. I was 8 months pregnant with my son, Joey, and it was a surprise. People know me today that I'm not real good about surprises, but I had a very bad experience. And I never got to tell my dad that his grandson was going to be named after him. And really from that point forward, and even during my adolescent years, I had two uncles, and they're on here, Tommy and Cal, who were they were a lot younger than my dad, but they both served like fathers for me. And so as I grew up, I did have a pretty good support system, but when my father passed away, my dad was very sick. It really shattered me. And I started back then knowing that I was not going to have my children go through anything like that. So when I get down, or I look back and I had teachers that didn't believe in me or always thought, here's the kid with the blue jeans and the t-shirts and the no makeup and she's never going to be anything. That is a fire in my belly. That's what drives me. I want to be the best that I can be. And no matter what anyone thinks about me, I'm me. And I can do anything I want. And I really kind of am very grateful for those folks, simply because it drives me till this day. And I've gone back to 2 high school reunions. And it's really funny because when they ask me, they're like, well, just what is it that you do? I hand them my business card and I say, go check me out on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn. It's rather interesting how my road has paved the way, but thank you very much for not having faith in me. And I don't say that ugly. People just do what people do, right? You got the valedictorians, you got the salutatorians, you got the Miss OFA, the Mr. OFA, and that's all fine and good. I wasn't any of those people, but I'm a very successful person. It's because I'm a self-made person. And that's what we're going to talk about today. My son, I have 2 older sisters. That's my Joey, my heart. Everybody knows that. This is my other son, John, my other heart. I have 2 beautiful grandkids, and that drives me. So you have to figure out, some people call it your why. Some people call it the fire in your belly. Everybody has it, guys. Find it, because it will help you towards success. And then I just shared, then you have your friends. You have the friends, and Rory talked a little bit about this. Some people are very, very fortunate. They may have 10 friends that they grew up with, and they've had those relationships. I'm very fortunate. I do have a good network of friends that I have known for many, many, many years. We've taken many paths, but I can tell you, when they are for real, when I was going through a divorce back in 2012, I had not talked to Susan Fouché for over 10 years. I picked up the phone. I told her I needed her, and she was at my side. That's when it's a true relationship. He also talked about people that you think are your friends, or they're negative, or they have negative vibes, or they never try to improve themselves. And when you hang around people like that, believe it or not, you become a product of that. So be very cognizant about who's in your circle. I may have a lot of acquaintances, but I can assure you, I have a very, very small circle of people that really know me inside and out. And just about all of them are right here on this page. Some of them are kids that I grew up from when I was in diapers. Others are from the workforce. But you do know. And so you need to evaluate your life as you go. And some of them may be family members that you have to distance yourself from, because they don't see what you see. They don't want what you want. And quite honestly, misery loves company. So be very cognizant about who your circle is. And then the last slide that I want to show you, because I think this is a very powerful slide, guys, this business is phenomenal. It is, and I'm probably going to say it wrong, Roy, but I think it's like $183 billion a year business. Wine is very relevant. We have an opportunity to share some pretty darn good product with our friends, our family, or people that we may know, or people that we come in contact with through our advertising of the wine. And it doesn't get any better than that. I believe that the direct-to-consumer sales have increased by probably 10 to 12% from when we started offering wine back in 2000. Rory started it in 2016, and I actually joined him in 2018. You have some of the top people in the industry trying to help you and educate you on how to build your business. Rory Rickard is the master of online marketing. His wife is phenomenal. Tanya, y'all have heard her many, many, many times, and her passion about the wine and how, and Tanya actually comes from an Italian family. So she and I connect. By the way, she's in the mortgage business too. So we connected a lot because we understand each other. But you have some of the leaders here, Stacy, Linda, Sheila, Niall, Sean, Kathleen, Donna. I can go on and on and on. And many of these ladies are your instructors in this business to help you grow. Learn from them. You have an opportunity of a lifetime. So don't take that lightly. And by the way, we're gonna, I'll just give a little plug here for those of you that are Grand Crew members. We go to Napa every September during the harvest season. And that's what you're seeing here. This is us at the harvest season last year. And there is nothing more wonderful than going to the winery that we are part of and seeing the grapes and learning how to test the grapes and all of those sorts of things, which does education for you when you are promoting the wine. So invest in yourself and get to the event. Okay, what we're going to talk about today, guys, is 4 tips on how to stay focused and motivated. The first one we're going to talk probably the most about is mindset. You put trash in, trash is going to go out. You don't keep yourself fresh and feeding yourself constantly with positive thoughts. Your mind is going to wander. I have to work very hard because when I'm in a tough spot, I tend to go back to those dark places in my life. Well, you know what? You have to fight through that. You have to tell yourself, no, it's okay. That was then. This is how I'm going to be now. And you can change your whole mindset. The other thing we're going to talk about is balance and how to balance your business to make sure you are setting yourself up for success. And then we're going to talk about execution, because words on a piece of paper, I can give y'all words on a piece of paper all day long. But if you don't go back and execute, that's exactly what it is, words on a piece of paper. So please take heed to what the little golden nuggets are that we're giving you today. And then the last thing is motivation. Motivation is key to all of this because life gets in the way. I think I see a lot of heads shaking. You know, the dog gets sick, the kid gets sick, work, you know, if you're full-time working like I do, work gets in the way of trying to build your business, right? Family issues, all that sorts of thing can kill your motivation. So as long as you are cognizant of the steps you need to take, you can always get yourself back on course, right? Okay. So let's talk about mindset. And I call this an entrepreneurial mindset. And it's because the things that an entrepreneur does, and you've heard Roy say this many times, the entrepreneurs, the janitor, the cleaning lady, the person that fills the coffee, the accountant, the person that does the marketing, they have no bars. They do it all. So when you hear somebody say, oh, I'm an entrepreneur, are they really? I don't know. Some people say it and some people don't. But let me tell you something. Entrepreneurs are very unique. They adapt to constant change. It is change when you're building a business. There are going to be roadblocks when you're building a business. And guess what? It's part of the process. But every little roadblock, you grow just a little bit. And let me tell you something else they do. And I learned this from my dad. You got to take risk. If you don't take risk as an entrepreneur, you're never going to get to the next level because you're always going to hold on that you have to know all the whys and you have to know everything before you make that decision. Well, guess what? You just missed the boat because the early adapters are the ones that are going to get paid off for taking that risk. And let me just add something. By being in this business with us, you're not taking a risk by yourself. You got a whole team of people and a safety net that's helping you get to that next level. So think about that. Never, ever, ever be afraid of failure. Good Lord, if I was afraid of failure, I'd have gave up years ago because I fail forward all the time. But let me tell you something. Every time you fail, you learn something and you grow. So failure is not a bad thing. It's actually a very good thing. And because it's going to happen to you. And if you think everything's going to be perfect and you have the mindset that everything's going to be perfect, you need to rethink that because That is what building a business is. There are failures. But when you fail, there's always a door open for you to grow. And I'll tell you a little story about that. My son is going to be 36 years old. He runs 3 businesses in South Florida. The kid started these businesses in his apartment with $250. He's now traveling all over the country. But you know what? I still get the phone calls every week about how he failed doing this and how he failed doing that. You know what I tell him? That's a good thing. Pick your boots up and go to the next level, Joey. And it's honest to God's truth. So, and you've heard Rory say it. You've heard Niall say it. Nobody got here by being perfect. There is failure along the way. And an entrepreneur mindset is highly motivated to succeed. There is nothing that's going to stop you. Some people call it the why. I kind of told you a little bit about my why. I could talk about all the trials and tribulations forever, but you got to let that go, guys. You have to let all that go and work on you and be motivated to succeed. That's the fire in your belly. And every one of you have that fire. You just have to find out what it is. Mine happens to be that I was told as a young child, I'll never be anything by my teachers. You know, mine is that I thought I had a beautiful 30-year marriage and he walked away because he wanted to do something else. And I'm 50 years old with a new hip replacement, have no idea what the hell I'm going to do at 50 to make money, right? It all happens. Everybody has a story. Yours is it may be different, but it's not unique. Everybody has a story. So figure it out, pick your little self up by the bootstraps and move forward. Because let me tell you what, there is no better business or promoting a business than what we're doing with these wine memberships. Okay, the next one I want to talk about is balance is key to success, guys. You've heard many of the leaders here talk about you can do this business full-time, you can do it part-time, you can do it life-changing, right? We all got the same 24 hours in a day. I'm a mortgage banker during the day. I am a professional marketer at night. That's what I do. But I had to learn how to balance all that in organization and balancing your life to do this, whether you have kids, whether you are you're caring for someone or you are retired. It all doesn't matter. You still have to be organized. You have to schedule your time. Tanya has done 2 or 3 beautiful trainings with us about learn how to use your Google Calendar. We talk about all the time. Lay out your calendar, put all of your stuff on there. If I showed you my calendar, it'd scare the heck out of you. Okay. But you have to put everything, non-negotiables on that calendar, the least little thing. If you have to take the dog to the groomer, if you have to take the kid to the daycare, if you have to, everything has to be on that calendar. And the way that you build this business is you look at that visual calendar and you pick out slots, whether it's an hour here, 15 minutes there, 2 hours here. You're never going to be finished promoting this business. It is a constant. That's what marketing is all about. So if you think you can go from point A to point B and you're going to be finished, you're not. That's what building is. So you have to be very organized and schedule your time. And when you say you're going to show up, show up. Here we go. I love this one. This is what you're not going to like. Okay. This is on you. This is when you do this. This is directly facing you, guys. You have to do all that stuff, but you have to execute. And the way you execute is you do what you say you're going to do. If you say you're going to show up at 9 o'clock in the morning and you're going to work this business to 10:15, guess what? You're going to go at 9 o'clock and work till 10:15. You're going to be promoting your wine. You're going to be reaching out to people. You're going to be doing all the things that we teach you. And you repeat it and you repeat it and you repeat it. And there's going to be days that you don't talk to a soul. That's all part of the process. There's going to be days that you make call outs to the people that you want to share your product with. They're going to slam the phone down on you. All part of the process. You cannot get discouraged about what you cannot control. Go call 5 more. Go visit 5 more. Set up a wine social. And guess what? It's a continuous path. You keep on and on and on and on and on. And guess what? It's going to hit. Nobody knows when it's going to hit for you. But if you stay consistent and you do all the things that we talk about in all the trainings, you are going to be successful. Some may take longer than others. You're scared to pick up the phone? Guess what? Get over yourself. Pick up the phone. You scared to talk to somebody? It's only a conversation, guys. You talk to people every day. You have a wonderful product to be able to share. We have some of the most best wine that's out there to share with people. Share it. It's as simple as that. Okay, I love this slide, and it's so true, because when you come into the business, you got the hype, right? Everybody's excited. And then you got the honeymoon. You kind of floating along. And then all of a sudden, it starts to plummet. And then there's what we call lapses and surges and slips. And that's the danger zone. But we're going to talk a little bit about today about what that looks like. And it's nothing that you haven't heard before. I can assure you, if you've been in this platform with us in wine for any period of time, you've heard us talk about this. So this should be nothing new to you. But this is when the motivation, when you dig real deep and know what that fire is in your belly, because you're going to have these times, and that's how you're going to get over it. So let's talk about the hype. The hype is the new adventure. You just started. You might be a little skeptical, but you might even be scared. I was like, I've never done any online marketing before. I never shared anything. But once you get in the groove, you kind of get connected. You kind of start coming to the trainings. You join us on the wine and dines on Wednesday. You join us on Monday nights. Wow. This is all great. I got this. I'm going to do this. How many of y'all feel like that when you first come in? You are on top of the world, man. It's cool. The motivation reaches an all-time high. There's no turning back. You are so excited. You have started to see. You might not see the full big picture, but you kind of see what it's all about. And bam. You start to get the stars in your eyes start to go away. You start to say, you mean I can't watch TV? I can't go visit my friends on the weekends? I really got to work? Guys, I don't know anybody that is successful that hasn't put in a hell of a lot of hard work to get where they are. You don't go pick the money off the tree, even though I used to tell my dad all the time, well, just go grow a tree of money. You don't do that. You have to put in the work to meet the success. So when the reality kicks in, and I'm looking at some of you and you're shaking your head, you start to feel in the little voices, the little man, I call it the little man in your head, starts to say, oh my God, I'll never be able to do this. I'm not you. I don't know how to talk to anybody. I can't. Well, guess what? If you believe you can't, you can't. If you believe you can, you can. It's all here. It's all in your mind. If you have to write down every day, I can be successful at promoting wine 100 times, like when you were in school back in the day, write it every day, because that will start to make your mind believe that that's what you can do, because there's always that little doubt in the back. Remember, it's wine. People love wine. Just talk about it. So, but when this happens, it's usually when this is the failure, guys. I don't like to use failure here, but this is when you kind of take a downturn, right? This is when you're going to learn and grow and get stronger and move your business forward. This is when, if you're struggling and we have the events coming up, figure out how to get to the events. There's nothing better. And these aren't rah-rah. This isn't where they just pat you on the head and make you feel good. We go to work. Rory sits down and works with us and teaches us even more tricks of the trade, but we have him in front of us. There's no better training than that. You know, this isn't just a motivational speech to make you feel good. This is the rest of the story to tell you how to move towards success. So take advantage of it. Now, from this point forward, when you have those first downfalls, guess what? You're going to have highs and you're going to have lows. It ain't all like this. You're going to always have setbacks. That's part of business. It's never going to be where it just takes off and you can put it on autopilot. You're going to have to continually know that these are going to happen. When they happen, you know what you do? Dig. Why are you doing this? What is your fire? Remember the day that you joined and you had the stars in your eyes and you were so excited and this is the best thing and you're going to be at the top of the world? Go dig and get that fire. Another thing I'll tell you, if you haven't read Rory's book, which most of you probably have already read it, go read it. Don't just read it once, highlight it. There's a lot of education in this book. Also, if you haven't read The Organic Networker, read that book. These people, including Rory Rickard, didn't start with a silver spoon in their mouth. They learned, they sought out people that were very successful. When you hang with success, you will be successful. You want to hang with people that are negative and hampering where you want to go in life, that's what you're going to be. So make sure that your circle is helping you. And by all means, when you have the plummets, don't quit. The only way you lose in this business is to quit and walk away. Do not give up on yourself. There are many people here ready to help you. But when you get to that point and the frustration is you're thinking all those things, I'll invite you to do something. Walk away, go reset yourself, refocus, and recommit to why you started this in the first place. And Roy, I think that's all I got for today, baby.
Well, this is awesome. Like, you know, and you know, the fact that we have professional people like you in this organization speaks volumes too. And, you know, we're here to help everybody and help them grow. That's what we're here for. But this is incredible. And we have a little bit of time left. So I want to actually take some time with you, Jackie, and kind of go over stuff. Like, you know, you come from a professional background in a very stressful part of I guess commerce and in the mortgage world, right? You know, you're talking with people's homes, they're, you know, where they're going to be raising their kids, their families, and they're dealing with banking that may not happen at the right time, timelines that don't match. The stress is incredible, right? But in order to make it in that world, people got to show up too. It's the same anywhere, right? That there's no secret to it. It's you got to show up and do the work and work efficiently, right? It's all about patterns and what we do with our time. And you know, the one thing that, you know, we constantly are going to be hearing, because it's truth, is you've got to organize your day. You've got to figure out how to get more things done so that you can have a better life and have it sooner than not, right? You know, you don't want to, you know, a lot of people have a way that they were taught where they're going to work their butts off and they're going to retire at 65 and go travel the world, and they're not able to. But that's not how this is supposed to be. And for those of us that are in the older ages, if we're not in a situation where we're able to do that, we need to get there, but also we owe it to our kin to give them a better way and help advance it, right? And if our ancestors didn't do it for us, that's okay. We're us. We get to fix it. We get to make a determination and go forward and share that. And what's been happening with the course of the technology, the internet, the way that we communicate, all these things have created more ways for people to succeed than we ever had before. It's actually easier today than it's ever been, and it's getting easier. Yeah, you got to have the knowledge, but the opportunity is so great because of that. When we just had telephones and we didn't have the internet to communicate, telephones were the main thing. Remember long distance charges and all sorts of things. There was methods that I taught people how to do things with that were advancing in this direction. You could see where it was going, but the opportunities became big just because people could actually communicate regardless of distance of where they were located. Today, it doesn't matter what country you're on. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. If you have access to the internet, you have access to communication, tools, research, knowledge. And you still got to go seek it. You still got to go look it up. You still got to have the training. But the means to make it successful is so much better today than it's ever been, ever. So when we get to share this with others and look at it, it breaks down to we're building people up. We're becoming better humans ourselves. And obviously we the vehicle that we have to grow and monetize that and better things is a beautiful thing called wine. And it for me, it's, I always bring it up, all roads lead to wine, because that's not only something that is, it helps elongate life. It helps reduce stress. It helps life become better. As a food, wine is a food. And we get to share this with the world, but also we get to share becoming better people. We get to share better communication and skills. And so like that, it's all around the wine, but wine is that. Wine is better communication. Wine is betterment. And that's why I always say all roads lead to wine, because if you're trying to strive to be the best you, it coincides with the way wine is created, how it's derived, properly derived. Not those, the fine wines, right? And so I like to resonate on that. But everything that we're looking to do to be better people, it's the patient process. It's how wine is made. No one's going to jump right in here and just kick off with success. You're going to have to learn the ropes. Most people need to learn, oh my gosh, I've never been in business before, but I know I need to make more money. And this is a great, awesome opportunity. You still got to learn how to apply it, how to grow with it. And in some ways, change your mindset from an employee to an entrepreneur, as a business person, as a community member. And all these things are what we're tying into here. And we can resonate this enough. This is awesome. I'm actually going to close this with that, other than Jackie. I'm excited to see you. I know in Waikiki, we get to hang out with awesome leadership stuff. And you brought that up there. I'm going to drop this because this is the last wine ambassador training before we're in Waikiki and training from there. Like everybody will be coming in for the Monday night. You guys will be, already be in Waikiki. Tanny and I will leave in the morning. So we'll be there to do training Monday nights. For everybody here, be on the Monday night training. We're going to be dropping some stuff there. But through the course of next week, we're launching new things. And we're going to share with the leadership there. And we're always making strides to make things better, right? And to grow more. I was on yesterday working on international shipping and working to get things established in bigger areas. For instance, there's constant things growing in the world of wine. And that means more opportunity for everybody here. And we get to share that, adapt it, grow it. And that's why we do constant trainings throughout the week. We have 3 minimum times that we touch base on building wine throughout the week. 3 minimum. But we really touch base about it every day. And there's a reason, right? It's hobby income for some, part-time, full-time, career, life-changing for some as well, and everything in between. So we build on that, but wine isn't going away. It's a foundational business. And learning how to build this foundational business is only going to help in every aspect of your life, because the better you communicate, the better your relationships are. The better you communicate, the more you can teach your kids how to communicate, and in some cases, teach your parents how to communicate. It's all about becoming better humans. Course of the wine. All right. God bless. See you guys in the next training. And those staying tuned for the next part, just stay on.